What's up, everybody, and welcome to the week. Was this 18? Was this 17?
Kitchen
17?
17.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Starting off strong.
Week 17, Swolecast. When you haven't been here for 3 out of the past 4 weeks, things tend to run together. So apologies for not being here. I was glad that there was a few good fill-ins for me as far as Sammy. And then who was on last week?
I can't remember his name.
I can't. Who was it?
Yeah, he gets.
Was it? Did Nate?
No, Nate couldn't do it.
Lynch. Yeah,
he was. He had like a beard. He had a
beard.
Like the.
He used to be. He used to be like really popular in fantasy football Twitter.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Then he left the show, and I forget. Anyways,
he used to write like a really in-depth matchups column.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Reeves? Did Reeves go? All right, sorry.
Yeah. So, anyways, how was everybody's week 16? Was it good?
No,
not
as good as Levitan's.
I can't even remember week 16 now. Oh yeah, Levitan won $250,000. That was nice. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Not great, not bad.
James Robinson tore his Achilles about 7 minutes into the slate.
Did you actually play James Robinson?
Not in tournaments.
Yeah, that would have been so off-brand.
I know. No, I played 100% Rojo, obviously. So we love to see the Keyshawn Vaughn.
The Keyshawn Vaughn
55. People started tagging me in that, and I actually felt bad for the Rojo truthers.
Kitchen, if I go and look and you say people, how many?
One person.
One person.
Two people tagged me in a tweet and like mentioned Dave's name, but Dave has a filter for searching his name.
See, all he needs is a chance. So
I tagged Kitchen in a tweet this morning, and someone said you tagged Kitchen, and it was your least liked tweet of all time.
Oh yeah, that was the.
It was like 5 likes because I got the Kitchen stink on it.
The Overzet overview.
What has Kitchen tweeted lately, anyway?
I haven't been on the Twitter machine lately. For those that do not know, I have been moving. Like Davis did way back in the summer, while also being
some of us can't afford to move during the NFL season because we have jobs, David.
It was compacted with I was one of the more high profile athletes that was on the COVID list. So finally got me. Go figure, the week of Christmas when I had to move. It was.
What are we blaming it on? The Planet Fitness?
Perfect. I don't know.
Has David Kitchen been in a Planet Fitness since our weight loss bet ended? I'm going to take the under on 3.5 trips.
No, you'd lose by a few trips. Okay. I will say though, I was at the company holiday party right before finding out
for sure.
So then I had to do the like walk of shame, like letting people know. Because it was just like I just had
calling all your old lovers and telling them you have gonorrhea, but
well, I never had to do that. But I would take your word for it there. But like I had like one night of fever, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get tested to see if it is COVID. If not, it's just a flu, and I'll get like some sort of something to make me feel better before this move. And then I was like shocked, and they said, you do have COVID. And so then I had to tell everybody, well, then, HR has to send an email to everybody at the party.
And you got COVID.
They couldn't
Close
say my name.
Tracing.
They couldn't say my name, but I already told everybody. It was the week before Christmas, so I'm like, how many other Christmases did I ruin? So
that's HIPAA, bro.
Anyways, I did see the impersonation video that went out was pretty good.
Rob,
I felt like
he did, and he went in depth. Like Pete's video, how long was your video, Pete? Like 3 minutes. His was like 7 minutes, 2 parts. The Wi-Fi glitching bit is the best parody of the Swolecast that has ever been done. I mean, that was peak.
There's a few other like golden nuggets that he had. Like one time on the end of Davis's voice, he like tweaked the audio to where it went high pitched at the end.
So good.
Of the statement, and then of course the end. I don't want to ruin it.
So if history repeats itself in 3 years, Rob will be on this show, and I will have filled in for you last week, and you guys will be pretending that you don't remember who I am.
That's right. it's a butterfly effect. All right, so let's get to Overzet's overview, because this is a very important week. Lots of people that have best ball finals. I'm hearing that this is an interesting week for that.
Do we have any final puppy and or best ball mania teams on this show?
I mean, I'm the best ball expert, so
I have the team I drafted with Bime 4. Our team made the BBM 2 finals, and I think I've won in one of the puppies.
I was 4 points away on a Travis Kill or Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman double stack team.
Oof.
And Hardman's points counted. Hardman's 10 points hit the lineup, so it was very close.
Imagine not having Pringle on that team.
I know, it's disgusting. Pringle, my most drafted player, but somehow not on that team.
Peas and peas.
I have a Trey Lance and a Travis Kelce team in the finals.
Ooh.
Oh, Tuttle, you're rich. What are you going to buy with your money? What JPEG?
The problem was, so I only did. I did about 80 of these, and it was like
on DK.
Yeah, between $5 and $20, and so this was, of course, the $5 one. But it was like the second iteration, which I think actually works in my favor. So it wasn't like the $3 playmaker; it was the $5 flea flicker, they call it.
Yeah.
But I think there's less people in the finals because it's like more condensed. So there's only 82 people left.
I was going to say, I think that's the case because I advanced like way more teams to the first playoff round on DK than on Underdog, but didn't get a single team through to the semifinal.
I'm in the Superflex Dynasty Best League Ever finals.
The FBI is going to be shutting down the stream at like any.
How much up top, Kitchen? How much up top?
I think 500.
I'll give you 500 to never talk about it again.
Okay. Gonna airdrop me. Like, what's the token gonna be called? You airdrop
soccer.
Kitchen will just revoke it though because it's pennies.
So not to keep on with the season long thing here, but I did have a friend plays lower stakes.
Yeah.
Tweeted me. He says, this is the one I care about. This is the league I care about. And I need to know, I only need 1.6 PPR points out of Marquez Callaway or Devontae Parker. Who do I play?
Oh, no.
Devontae Parker gets shut out. 0 points for Devontae Parker.
Did you tell him Parker?
Disgusting, dude.
Yeah, I told him Parker. I mean, it was pretty easily Parker.
Of course, but like he has someone to blame now.
Oh, yeah.
If I would have just played Callaway.
Oh, no, and I said, oh, that's easy Parker for sure. Like, that's a lock.
Yeah, not great, man.
That might be worse.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's worse than having to tell your coworkers.
Didn't you tell him, bro? Wasn't he worried?
Before Christmas. Okay, let's get into Overzet's overview. Enough monkey business. Like, how much monkey business did Silva?
None. There was no. It was right to the picks. Right to the picks.
Watch the last 20 minutes of the show. It's Pete trying to painfully prolong the show because we were already done with it.
Silva was actually just doing a bit in tribute to Pete. He had a heart out. So he was really just trying to move us along.
I was like, I was like, holy cow. Normally we were just so distracted. I was like, well, we got 3 wide receivers in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, we got it's 2:15 Central Time, and we just wrapped up tight ends.
He's like that father figure that you don't want to disappoint. So you're like on your best behavior and everything else.
Did you watch the show back, Silva? Silva, SocrDave?
Oh, of course he did.
Thank you. No, I did not watch it. I watched pieces of the show, but not the full show in
it's like when someone asks you if you've seen some like great movie that you've only seen like a Family Guy parody of, and you're like, yeah, I've seen parts of it.
You read the comments though. We know you read the comments.
Yeah, of course you read the comments.
I don't even know if I read the comments. I did see someone who tweet us that wanted us to do like a fade list, and I'm like, well.
I almost responded to that in the Slack, and I was gonna say it feels a little too actionable for a first look show.
It's a bit on the nose, don't you think?
I was gonna tell Sosa that like people they need to dig a little bit on this show.
I thought the fade list was literally every pick we give out on here.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get an Overzet's overview for the third attempt, and Peter, you tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, big slate this week, 14 games, only 2 games this week, not on the main slate. Vikings, Packers, Browns, Steelers. We have some massive shootout potential games. Chiefs, Bengals, 49-point over under. Cowboys, Cardinals, 49.5. Rams, Ravens, 47. And then we have 4 big favorites. Bills, 14.5-point faves. Patriots, 15-point faves. Bucks, 13-point faves. 49ers, 15-point faves. So going to be plenty plenty of avenues to go here with your lineups this week. But we also have tons of kind of injury and COVID situations still kind of going on. I was just seeing, guys like James Conner and Rondell Moore are still questionable. We don't know what's going to happen with some of these Chargers pass catchers, all kinds of stuff going on here. So lots of moving pieces, but if anyone is equipped to tackle such a unique slate, I think it's the 4 of us.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. To that point, Tuttle, what's your read on the CDC's latest ruling of 5 days quarantine?
What are we doing here? We're setting Dan up to get us canceled. That's not
the virus is a hoax anyway. So
I did have one night of
agree
fevers.
with that.
So I can confirm it is not a hoax. I did see though they're saying you don't need to test negative now because PCR tests can be positive for up to 12 weeks.
Yeah, everybody's gonna play, right? Like,
that's why they did this. Is they're like, buddy, if there is a snowball's chance in hell of Patrick Mahomes testing positive before the playoffs, we need to make sure that fella is in his uniform, rain or shine.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff there. Let's move on to quarterback. And Davis, you let us know who the top quarterbacks we're looking at this week.
It's sort of interesting. Josh Allen gets the dream matchup against Buffalo. Tom Brady gets to play the Jets after. Honestly, the Buffalo
against
offense,
Atlanta. But yeah.
No, Josh Allen plays Atlanta. Tom Brady plays the Jets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. So thank you for.
No, you said Josh Allen's playing Buffalo, but that's okay.
Oh, well, whatever. Okay. And then, Dak, the Cowboys finally score some points last week. The Chiefs finally score some points last week, and they have both their guys back. And Joe Burrow is in that game as a potential shootout. And Jalen Hurts gets to play a team that is completely given up and is eliminated from playoff contention. And Matthew Stafford gets to play a defense that doesn't have any cornerbacks left. And none of them are projecting like being the most owned quarterback because Trey Lance is $4,800 against the Houston Texans. And he ran on, I think it's 25% of the plays against Arizona. And this is actually like a total must-win game for the 49ers. So I think Trey Lance might run like 24 times against the Texans. Like it might be insane. So it's very insane.
Okay, who does not have a must-win game though this week?
It doesn't really matter if the Chiefs lose. They already won the division.
Well, it matters a lot.
What there's a difference between knowing
there's one team that gets to have a bye. They're currently at the top of the division. If they lose one, then they could lose the first round bye.
dude, I'm just doing my tout language. All right. Like everyone knows, like you just say like absolute must win spot. Like you just got to add a little bit of flour.
I know. I'm just trying to.
You want me to give it to you with no perfume, bro? No one wants that.
I'm just trying to say like who's not trying to win this week. That's why.
This seems like a good time to mention I do have a hard out at 3:30.
Yeah. 45 minutes hard out.
Peter, which teams do you feel like are most incentivized to win this week?
Terrible question.
Well, this is a trap, kid, because I was just told everyone has something to play for this week. To be honest, Dave, I haven't been worried about motivation on this slate. It hasn't crossed my mind until you said it.
Does Dave know that there's actually 18 weeks this year?
Yeah, but if Kansas City loses,
I don't think
if Kansas City loses once, then the Titans own the tiebreaker over them. So
is this your angle? This is a long con to talk about.
This was a long con to bring up the Titans.
And the Bills are also in it as well. So it's like you got all. I just don't buy the narrative that you want to play Lance because it's a must-win game for them. Because every game is pretty much
that was more. That was more to project what his rushing share is going to be.
Okay. All right. Quarterbacks for you, Tuttle, this week.
I don't think there was a whole lot left over, but yeah, Trey Lance, 4,800. So I want to know what's wrong with Arizona. I need a football guy to tell me what's wrong with Arizona because
I can tell you.
Early in the season, we'd be like, this game's awesome. This game's great. Arizona and Dallas. And I do wonder if that's going to drive Kyler Murray's ownership down a little bit is because he hasn't been playing all that well. Arizona's been struggling. Dallas has they're scared of Trayvon Diggs. That sort of thing. So I think that is the most interesting game for me. And then Davis already touched on the Cincinnati-KC game. So for my personal rooting for my best ball finals, I actually kind of hope that Joe Mixon puts out and the Cincinnati passing attack struggles a little bit.
Well, it turns out that just subbing DeAndre Hopkins out for some guy named Antoine Wesley as a 1-for-1 like-for-like doesn't necessarily open up your offense a ton.
Antoine Wesley, I think that guy's a tight end every time I see him on the field. That guy's
he looks exactly like when he caught the touchdown. I thought he was Ertz. I was like, oh, exactly. That's Ertz? Yeah.
And very similar. It's like a crazy similar build and everything. It's wild.
Yeah.
Peter, any other quarterbacks you like this week?
Have we mentioned Jalen Hurts yet?
Surprisingly, Davis did not mention Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I think Hurts at 6,600 here looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna guess he's gonna be fairly popular. I don't know. That would just be my read. But yeah, I think he's definitely in play. And Goddard and Devonta Smith don't look too bad either as far as stacking options. They don't have Miles Sanders, so maybe they don't run quite as much as they have been.
All right, let's do a DraftKings lineup, shall we?
Oh wow, yeah, let's do that.
DraftKings.com. Davis, we'll let you go first.
It's okay. Do we want to do a Lance team?
I mean, sounds fun to me. Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, let's do Trey Lance, and I won't even ruin it by stacking him. I'll let it happen organically.
Why don't we just put in Tuttle's best ball roster?
All right, yeah. So let's go Trey Lance, Debo, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson.
It's amazing if this was anybody else and Tuttle did not have a team in the best ball final, he would be so annoyed.
He would be so annoyed. He would be.
I'm the best ball expert on the show now, so it is what it is.
Now that it's him, the turntables have turned. All right, Peter.
All right, let's do CeeDee Lamb.
Love it. Need it. Need the CD to be played this weekend.
Tuttle.
You know who we're feeling good is going to play this week? Just got some news on it. DeAndre Swift, and he's only.
Oh yeah, I saw that Dan Campbell quote.
Yeah.
Classic Dan Campbell bringing a dude with like a broken shoulder back for like a meaningless game against a terrible team.
He loves it because he's like, in his head, he's like, is DeAndre Swift, is he just like this pussy that's not going to want to play? And then he heard that Swift wants to play. He's like, yeah, we're going to get you out there. I don't care if you're going to crumble after one hit.
All right. So do we need to save some money now? It's like middle of the line.
53.50.
There are plenty of value plays.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with let's go with Kittle.
Okay. So this is terrible.
Why?
Tuttle needs Kelsey.
No, we're just buying the top on the San Francisco passing game when they're going to run the ball 80% of the.
I mean, Kittle, I don't think will be very owned though.
Well, yeah, and probably rightfully so.
I mean, you're not going to win the 355 football throwdown free roll on DraftKings just playing it conservative, guys. Got to take some chances.
Naked Trey is not going to win you anything.
Oh, I don't think that's true at all. I think if Trey Lance at 4,800 gets 22, pretty strong odds he ends up being in optimal lineups.
Ceiling game for him is the 100-yard rushing anyway. It's not
which he almost had in his first start.
Yeah, but whatever, we'll go with Kittle, I suppose.
I would bet that 22 points from Trey Lance would not be in the optimal lineup.
Not in the optimal, but just in Billy Maker winning teams, because you can stack the other games. You can do your Chiefs Bengals stack, but play Mahomes instead, or play Lance instead.
Okay, Davis.
I'll eat the chalk. I'll take Sony. What a world we're in, where Sony Michel is like we're just drooling to play him against the Baltimore Ravens.
Or targeting people to play against Baltimore for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter? No, it's Tuttle. Sorry.
I think it is Peter, actually.
Did I start?
No,
if you haven't done
CD
a pick other than
me.
Lance. Oh, did I?
You picked CD, I picked Swift.
Okay, I will do I will get a little mini correlation here with CD and do Christian Kirk.
Love it. This team's actually decent.
This
might win the Modelo Especial free roll for freedom free roll.
I'll do my mini correlation and take DK Metcalf.
Look at this.
A lot of gams in this lineup.
Hunter Renfrow and DK Metcalf with the same salary. Which one of those two says a lot about how you think about the world and who you are as a person?
I wouldn't play Hunter Renfrow on SocrDave's account.
All right. So if you went with like the Washington football team, you'd have 4,400 left over.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Lots of dudes.
Yeah. I don't know who I'd pick.
Well, it's on you to pick.
I figured you'd have this area well researched before.
Maybe Isaiah McKenzie
with Cole Beasley.
Probably a tough ask as the fifth wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, but stranger things have happened. Good leverage on the field, I think, probably.
The other one,
pick somebody for him. It is a pretty.
No, we're gonna let Kitchen kind of talk this through, and we'll nitpick everyone.
Kitchen, start looking before. Start looking under 4K.
How did he not just take the first Titan he saw in Westbrook-Akeen?
Because he's currently on the COVID-19 list.
No one's on the COVID-19 list, dude. Everyone's playing.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna look at AJ Brown actually, but then Tuttle put DK Metcalf up there.
How about Pringle?
Or Marvin Jones,
Tyler
Jr.
Johnson. Just start looking under 4Ks.
Pringle is actually a great play because I just like once you pop, you can't stop, and I don't know how they put him back on the bench after the 2-touchdown game.
And then we can even get up a little higher.
I'll just go Marvin Jones Jr. I got a heart out, so we got to finish this up. Sosa said MJJ. He was right there with me.
Dude, our team started out so strong, and then we let Dave have the final pick.
Well, the thing is, you can always change the pick. You don't have. You're not locked into this lineup, so you could do the 2 for 2 if you wanted to. Because honestly, the move would be to play AJ Brown over DK Metcalf.
No, the move is to play Pringle and upgrade defense to Miami, who is just going to give Ryan Tannehill fits on Sunday.
Fins up.
Tyler Johnson, Chargers D. Boom.
All right. We all choose your own adventure.
Definitely do not play Tyler Johnson. Under no circumstances should you do that.
Dude, he's going to be out there running wind sprints again.
Oh, man.
I mean,
when I gave that alpha
when you're out
about
targeted,
Tyler Johnson.
When you're out targeted by Cyril Grayson.
Okay, let's move on, please. We get it to running backs, and I want to know how much Tavon Austin for you this week, Davis.
Well, Tavon Austin's not a running back, and I can't imagine that he is playable in any sense.
Where the hell does David keep these?
Where's this coming from?
She was on the flex page, and he was up there. And there
7 targets last week. Had no idea. Had 0 idea.
He got
bigger James. I'm working with I had to go the blitz projections have James Robinson in, then I had to go the RG projections. I still had the flex on there. I'm just
this is the thing. Kitchen can't come up with a play under 4K to round out the lineup. Then we go to running back.
Yes.
Tavon Austin.
He led running back with a wide receiver who got 3 carries last week.
I don't know if you saw, but brain fog is a lasting impact from COVID. It is.
You have long COVID, do you think?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Dare, is that your tout?
I had a joke ready to line. I was going to say I'm more of a Nathan Cottrell man, but David stepped all over it. Which is it's not even, it's literally they're playing the Patriots, so none of them are playing to begin with, but probably 6 guys are going to get a carry for the Jaguars here because they're going to use Dare, they're going to use Armstead, they'll use this Cottrell guy. Visca and Tavon will both at least get 1 carry, and then Trevor Lawrence probably get 3 rushes or whatever. It's going to be people who are bidding on Dare this week for their fantasy football finals are going to start him, and he's going to get 4.5 PPR points.
I mean,
Tavon Austin or Dare, who would you play?
Tavon.
If only he was running back eligible.
Dude, DK, what are you doing?
How much Rex Burkhead share is going to have after he was in the winning Levitan lineup?
Friend of the show, TJ almost got mega wealthy going all in on Rex last week.
I had Rex Burkhead and T. Higgins in my main lineup, and I still barely made any money. I mean, DFS is so gross.
I love DFS.
Did Silva recommend Rex Burkhead last week on the show?
Don't think
that used to be his guy though.
I don't know if we knew David Johnson was going to be out.
We didn't.
Wednesday.
Yet.
We didn't.
That's why we have a first look show. All right, who's your top running back, Davis, this week?
I mean, I can't even believe these words are about to escape my lips. But David Montgomery is clearly the number 1 play at running back. He's the only running back in the NFL with a target share north of 20% in every game over the last month of the season. He's playing the Giants. The Giants have completely given up. They hate their coach. They hate their team. The Bears are actually probably going to win this game. And I don't know. That's all good for Montgomery. I mean, he's getting so many touches despite averaging 1.5 yards per carry. And then kind of depending on, I guess, what happens with the quarterback stuff with JT, I don't know, maybe he gets more rushes, Bellinger in there, maybe he doesn't. And then we have Sony and Rojo again as the mid-tier guys. I mean, Rojo did see a huge chunk of the carries and did get 4 targets and did get the goal line carries last week, but that Keyshawn Vaughn 55-yard touchdown is going to keep Rojo at sub 10% owned against the Jets this week. I feel pretty good about that happening.
Tuttle, you mentioned Mixon. Is he kind of the mid-priced running back that you're looking at this week? Or is that just hopeful?
I mean, he's a little bit more expensive than I would like. On DraftKings, he'll still be, and pretty much always is a good tournament play just because of ownership. And people double stack Burrow, which they'll do again this week. So, I mean, Mixon's a good tournament play, but not a great point per dollar option per se. Antonio Gibson's still cheap, 5,900. Depend that he's still dealing with that toe injury, but his price tag was something that stood out to me.
What do you think about Darryl?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're the Kansas City guy. What's the split going to be?
Well, it's tough because I think they actually are like Gore. I actually think they will have no problem using Gore as maybe they give him some stuff on the goal line, but I mean, he'll probably get 10 carries here, even if he isn't playing that well. But Daryl will get the good passing down work. So if this game does actually become a game where it's going back and forth a little bit, I mean, I think Daryl probably is pretty strong. That's my take.
Peter, running backs for you?
Yeah, a guy we didn't mention yet, Damian Harris, I think is going to be pretty interesting. I assume we'll get Ramondre back, but we've seen these games where New England is huge favorites and 2-3 of their running backs have massive days. So I could see both Harrison and Ramondre looking good here. Yeah, I guess it'll be interesting to see from a tournament perspective. My guess is that people are playing one, if not two, of David Montgomery and Gibson, and then getting up to Jonathan Taylor a good bit, depending on what wide receiver value opens up.
I don't know how many people are going to play Gibson.
I think Gibson's going to be fairly popular, but
yeah,
I don't know. What I was getting at was I wonder if Kamara and Eckler kind of fly under the radar.
Oh, Eckler for sure, I think.
Because if people are getting up to JT, which I have a feeling, although maybe Wentz being out, in the same way people got scared off of JT in best ball when Wentz was out, I wonder if that same thing happens with DFS, or do you guys think people are going to be still down to jam JT here?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, is that he is going to project worse than Kupp for sure. I don't know how many people will be playing both. And then I actually have Diggs fractionally better. I mean, granted, the projections are not in the best place right now because I'm mostly just trying to know which guys are in or out. But I mean, Diggs in like a nut spot. So you're not playing multiple of those guys. And I don't know how many people choose Kupp over Diggs or Kupp over JT. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably a good bet, especially after what Cincinnati just did to that Baltimore secondary. I think everything's aligning for Kupp to just be mega chalk again, even at that price.
No doubt.
All right. Let's move on to wide receiver. You have to play Kupp or JT in your lineup, kind of what we were just talking about. You're going Kupp?
Easy. Yeah, because there are better value running backs too.
What about on FanDuel?
Don't come at me on Wednesday asking me about FanDuel prices,
Kupp is
bro.
more expensive than
he's over 10K on FanDuel. Who would have thought that Cooper Kupp would be over 10K on FanDuel?
Who would have thought? Look at us. Look at us. We made it all the way here.
Okay. I just think, because you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit if you put him in there on FanDuel. So let's talk about this guy, AJ Brown, the GAM. He is their offense, like right now. Like, I mean,
show enough.
So do you jam him in?
Well, he's very expensive.
He's the same price on DraftKings and FanDuel this week, which tells you where he's a better.
He's going to be the number one wide receiver, own wide receiver on FanDuel for sure. Yeah, 7,500.
And he's not a particularly good. Like he's projects slightly worse than Chase, than Keenan, than CD. It's tough. Good week for you to actually register for some contests on DraftKings.com, I think, Dave.
And FanDuel.
You want to play him where he's more popular?
Well, I want to play him where he's more affordable, and there are donkeys that will not play him this week.
They're just paying the rake, bro.
I know. Are you still not playing on FanDuel, Davis?
Still not playing on FanDuel.
Wow. It's like what if someone like airdropped you tokens and you could just like claim them every week, like free money? That's what they're doing. And you're just like not claiming them.
You've been playing a lot on FanDuel, Dave?
I mean, I play some. But when I do play at FanDuel, we win. So that's all I'm saying. If I was grinding like you, I would just make sure to throw a few lineups in on FanDuel because it seems like it's easy money.
Where the easy money is? Yahoo. I mean, that's where you need to be. I didn't realize how much that $1 contest. I was frantically trying to add a couple in, and I built the dustiest hand-built lineups and like 5x both of them, and made me re-question all of my DraftKings exposure when I could just be over on
Pete,
Yahoo.
you've said this on your lineup review show. Like, if you really were just trying to be like a min-maxer, you would not even be playing the spy. You would be Yeah. It's just not, it's just not as fun.
Well, plus that means I could probably play the $1 on Yahoo.
Yeah, Edge Grinder David.
Well, I can't play anything under $3 on DraftKings and FanDuel.
I honestly feel like you could call them up and be like, look, man,
Yeah,
I don't even play anymore.
Just look at my history the last year.
I'm semi-retired. Like, let me
back in.
Yeah.
Let me back in those dollar contests.
Just review some of my lineups from the past few months, and I think they'll give you beginners.
I will say on DraftKings, it's not as bad because they just automatically remove those contests.
On FanDuel, you have to see it.
Yeah. On FanDuel, you have to see it. And it's like a lot of times it's it's the last contests that are still there when you're registering at the last second. And it can be a little tilting.
It's
all right.
It would be nice to be able to, when you don't really want to play, but you kind of want to spew something still.
Yeah.
It'd be
just to
nice
lock
to
someone for the $1. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'm with you.
Or even like what's the quarter arcade?
Yeah, just
I think the mini
lock some really crappy play in.
The mini max is what you're going for.
All right, maybe one day. All right, let's get on to more wide receiver plays. Peter.
Yeah, so Antonio Brown, I think, is going to be very popular. Again, his price doesn't come up that much. He had a massive target share, so he's only 6,100 on DraftKings. I think all those guys who are kind of in those game stacks, the Cincinnati receivers, Dallas receivers, those guys are going to be fairly popular. Debo is an interesting one. He's probably not going to get played at that price tag and with Lance, but he's probably going to end up being your kind of elite leverage option up there. What do you guys think?
If Eli Mitchell comes back, do you think Debo is just like dusted, or do you think that actually makes him a better play because it would be used as a wide receiver more?
I'm more worried about Lance for Debo than I am Eli for Debo.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
What do you guys think of in like the mid-range, your, Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman, Amon-Ra, anything in there?
Dude, nobody can stop Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Pittman, even with Ellinger in as the quarterback, is popping in our stuff. His target share over the last 4 games is 40% of the Indianapolis Colts offense. It's like unbelievable. It's like AJ Brown level of targets. What about Braxton Berrios? He's the only like punt wide receiver that's showing up in our value stuff.
Yeah.
I believe he has both a kick return and a punt return touchdown as well the last 2 weeks, which is just hilarious.
He's a football player. That's what he is.
Dave would love Braxton Berrios.
Here's the hand in the dirt take. We compared the two earlier and said it says a lot about your personality, who you prefer between DK Metcalf and Hunter Renfrow. But man, Hunter Renfrow is a really good play. He really is. He's gonna get so many targets. The hand in the dirt take is going against the zone. He knows how to find those pockets in the zone.
Ooh, yeah.
What about Waller coming back though? Does that do anything for you? Do you not care?
Obviously it affects it a little bit. Do we know for sure that he's going to come back? He was
at practice, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it would weaken it for sure a little bit. But you also would wonder at this point in time, he's been off for so long, how limited Waller would be when he comes back too. So
I'm tilting the updated COVID rules because it means that Mike Williams and Jalen Guyton are probably going to be like almost for sure going to be able to play this week. And I was just really looking forward to just jamming Palmer in again. Palmer played more snaps than Keenan last week.
That Keenan game was rough. All right. You have to pick a Cincinnati receiver. Who is it?
T. No hesitation.
I mean, Tuttle? The fact that I wish T and Jamar Chase's salaries were flipped. I mean, but like getting a $700 discount and getting T there, I think you have to say T, but it would be close if the pricing was different.
And actually now that T is expensive enough now that it's not like even coming off after that game that he's going to be like 22%. Like it's going to be high, but it's not going to be like people won't be playing him in cash. Like it's not going to be like completely insane ownership.
Is my guess, do you think the pendulum swings back this week where people are like, I'll run out Chiefs doubles and I'll bring it back with T as opposed to running out Burrow doubles?
The game log bros. Just like what chief do you want to play if you're game log hunting? Like none of them really.
Yeah.
I think it's much more likely that it's Bengals doubles, even including Uzuma, who actually is getting targets now. I think he's
Boyd.
Yeah, well, Boyd, I believe Uzuma has more targets over the last month of the season than Boyd. Boyd's touchdowns the last 2 weeks have been like the one 2 weeks ago was fine, but the one he scored against the Ravens was just like literally like no one knew where he was.
Yeah,
I think my tournament stack right now, if I was attacking that game, would be Mahomes, Darrell, Tyreek, and bring it back with Chase, based on kind of current ownership stuff.
So DJ Moore was pretty good earlier this year.
Well, he is really good, but
Darnold, baby. Darnold's back.
Is Darnold going to be the full
starter? It sounds like Cam is like going to retire midweek. It did not sound promising what he was saying to the media. He's like he got asked 3 questions but spoke for 17 minutes at the Panthers post-game media availability.
How boss would it be to
retweet that Darnold's back?
How boss would it be if he retired at halftime? Like legit, just full blown, like walk to a press conference.
I'm done. Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be Cam loves a good media headline. I think that'd be good. I would appreciate it.
All right. Any other gross wide receivers that you like this week?
Lockett and Metcalf.
Those are gross.
What about have you seen Russell Wilson play?
So here's it's gross, but it stands out on DraftKings because they're so cheap. And now you have Swift or even St. Brown you can bring it back with. It's a very
cost-effective stack.
Yeah,
and then all the Cowboys wide receivers, I think they're all priced at good spots, and you can bring them back with with Christian Kirk or AJ Green or Zach Ertz. If Rondale Moore does not play, Cliff is such a donkey. He literally is just using Zach Ertz to run Rondale Moore's routes, like the leftover. Cliff is
similar physical specimens and kind of after the catch ability.
Oh, I hate it so much. Can we talk about that third down field goal? I mean, that was the most offended I've ever been by a coaching decision in my life.
I mean, yeah, I just no one understood. It was like, that's like the Galaxy Brain coaching play of the year, kicking a field goal on third down. That was so bad. All right, let's go to FanDuel and create a lineup, and then we'll get back to tight ends.
Love to create a lineup on FanDuel.com DFS NFL.
Guys, I'm thinking. I think I'm going to toss this in the Sunday million. 250K at first. I can't let Levitan be the only one to win $250,000.
He got inspired by Levitan.
It's important to know there are some scoring differences between DraftKings and FanDuel.
Are there a half-point PPR site?
Yep.
Less pass catchers, more touchdowns.
Are there bonuses when they? Okay. Damn.
Hit arbitrary benchmarks? No, there are not.
Yeah.
Tuttle hates the bonuses. Tuttle hates fun.
Did Silva recommend any player that was not playing in the Sunday slate last week?
No.
I think we all just mostly were talking about guys who didn't end up playing because that's just the name of the game.
Yeah. All right. What is Sosa doing? He's just put in their chat, Daryl Jones, 70-yard touchdown.
What is that? I don't even know what
that's
that means.
Maryland. That's Maryland.
Is Maryland playing a bowl game right now?
Yeah.
Sosa, you're the producer of the show. It's different when Tuttle is making lineups during the show. You cannot be focused on your college football DFS and betting picks during this show.
So I just want to let you know, for the most part, how we use this internal chat is if there's something urgent, like, hey, don't forget to do the ad read for BetMGM. Don't forget, hey, I have a hard out. So when you say that in the chat, we are going to just read it out loud, and it is going to derail the flow of the show.
I was like, Daryl Jones. I was like, was that his terrible take? 70-yard. I got to understand what it was, and then it hit me. All right. I'm going to start.
Sosa's perfect for this show.
Yeah, he is. I would start with I'm gonna go AJ Brown in this lineup.
Wow.
Didn't see
No
that.
one saw it coming. Wow, I just saw Antonio Brown's price. I mean, props to FanDuel. They leave some dudes. They left Alexander Madison at $5,000 last week, and then Antonio Brown has like 8 targets, and they just immediately just jam it all the way in.
Okay, Peter, you're next.
Yeah, let's. We're not going to play Antonio Brown, but we are going to play Ronald Jones on FanDuel.
Oh my God! I just saw Trey Lance's price tag on FanDuel. Not going to be hard. Not going to be hard to play Cooper Kupp teams on FanDuel.com.
There's a lot of positive Jimmy G talk going on while we're doing this show.
No way is this dude playing.
I don't know.
He's got a broken thumb and a torn UCL on his thumb.
I mean,
maybe
he
feels confident that he'll be able to play.
I'm sure Shanahan's just going to send him to the same guy he sent, Eli Mitchell to, just wrap his hand up in a club and run him out there. Anything other than having to start Trey Lance, a guy you happen to use a top 10 pick on. Jesus.
Okay, Davis. We got Ronald Jones. We got AJ Brown.
We got some gams in the lineup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Zach Ertz, 5,500.
Look at that. Getting the Rondell Moore usage.
I mean, it was absurd. I think he had 13 targets in that game. Like, what? I cannot with Cliff
Just get
anymore.
the ball in open space and let Ertz cook.
just let him.
Who do we think would be a better coach, Siege or Davis, for an NFL team?
Did Siege log on and like?
I think I would trust Davis way more with the X's and O's, but I feel like Siege could like rally a locker room probably better than Davis.
I won't even argue that. That's 100% true.
Talk.
Yeah.
So together, I think you guys could be a successful NFL.
Go manage an NFL team.
I don't see why not.
I would actually take that. Might be the first blockchain, ownership
DAO?
group that
We get that. Yeah.
the Siege DAO.
Siege DAO, this DAO. All right.
Siege uses 7 roster spots on backup quarterbacks just in case anything happens.
Just in case.
Okay. Let's see. I think it's you, Tuttle.
I thank you. I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna do the Hurts to Devontae Smith stack.
Okay.
I like it.
I mean, Hurts is a good play in general, but the people are just going to go back to Goddard. Goddard is the only one that people ever stack with him, but you just feel like eventually Devonta's scoring an 80-yard touchdown.
Okay, let's see how gross we can get with the Cooper Kupp lineup. I'm just going to put Kupp in there and see what it gives us.
Oh, Jesus, Kitchen.
I'm fine with this.
All right, Davis, you're up.
All right, well, let's see what the cheapest defense we can get away with is. Let's put Raiders in there and hope that Ellinger starts. 3,400.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Seems doable.
So we got 6,200 left, running back and flex, Peter.
I would love to play Damian Harris if we can find someone for 5,000. Is that possible or no?
Of course.
I mean, what does Tavon Austin cost?
Yeah.
Kitchen's our guy to find someone under 5K here.
Yeah.
Dude, he has been going through this
He should
slate
be
with
able to do
a
this
fine-tooth comb ever since.
Derrick
yeah.
Henry's 5K. Just what?
Tavon Austin is 5K.
It's a sign. It's a sign.
And he's when I was going down the RG projections point per dollar, he is the top person under 5K. Oh,
It's probably hamstringing us too much to do Harris.
Yeah, probably.
Let's take him out.
Can we play David Montgomery? No.
What if we play Singletary is pretty cheap?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's good. Singletary.
Or you could go Josh Jacobs for the correlation.
Singletubby, and then DJ Moore. That's my guy.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Easy game.
That's
Ship
a
it.
nice looking lineup. Can't believe Peter tried to sabotage it with Damian Harris. Although he is a pretty good FanDuel running back. You think about it.
I think he had I think he had 3 touchdowns and 0 targets last week.
Saying I sabotaged. I'm not the one that used up, a fifth of our cap on one player.
Well, I wanted to see. Davis said it was not going to be hard.
Well, we didn't play Trey Lance, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so my entire point.
Don't dupe me in the Sunday Million. I can't stand to chop this with any of you guys.
Imagine having to share your screenshot. You have $1 million screenshot turned into $500,000 screenshot, and you're only 2x as cool as Levitan.
That's what's going to happen with me and Bime 4 when we win the underdog Millie.
You love to see it.
Do you think that you put as much effort into the underdog Millie as Bime 4 did, or maybe more effort into the underdog Millie than Bime 4 did?
I mean, it would be impossible to say anyone put more time into best ball thought leadership this year than Bime 4. But yeah. I mean, if you get to count like all the thumbnails I made, for shows, I mean, maybe I could start
all the time he spent practicing faces to make on the thumbnails.
Yeah.
Did you draft this team on one of your shows together?
Yeah.
So we should go back and then take a look at like who really who's the
Bime 4 is responsible for the most important pick on it, which was we were debating whether to stack Mac Jones and Hunter Henry with Kendrick Bourne or Sony Michel, who many people will remember at the time was on the Patriots. Eric pushed for Sony Michel, and boy, did we backdoor that one in a nice way.
You love to see it. That was always the thesis behind the plays, that he'd be traded for a 4th round pick and Darrell Henderson would be made at a newspaper.
Although, is there a chance Cam Akers is back this week? Is that real?
Yes. I think he's gonna be. It's just like how many touches can he get?
Yeah, I thought it was just for that pension thing, and then they're like, oh no, he might actually get some touches.
Well, I think their hand was forced a little bit by D'Endo getting hurt, because they even cut Mekhi Sargent. I knew from updating the projections this week. I believe he's on the Jaguars. But
he was an OG Titan practice squad guy. Speaking of, Dehember might be coming week 18.
Oh my God, I can't. It would be Pete. Him coming back would actually be great for your appearance on the Gilcast in week 18.
Cash game week is coming. Also, do you know what I just noticed? How kind of Kitchen's absence over the past month or so has kind of directly correlated with Derrick Henry's absence, and now Kitchen is kind of coming back
strong. Yeah.
Well, we're waiting for the comeback strong part, but you are back.
You are back. You are here.
You do seem legitimately low energy and subdued today, Dave.
You think?
Yeah, we're worried about you, bud.
How's the new house?
I mean, it got boxes everywhere. Like
I had
to put together my stuff just to do this show. That's how important this show is to me. Yeah. So it's got a big detached garage though, which I think it'll be my my training ground for getting back into shape.
Just for a couple freezers full of frozen meats.
I mean, if Hodge did it, I can become a fitness thought leader as well. So
I could see you on the Hodge trajectory. You start with the Instagram workout stuff, and then you become a community leader of a massive NFT project. Maybe the Mood Cats will allow you to become their community leader. You'll be hosting Mood Cats Twitter Spaces. Kitchen's like, that's actually my dream.
That is actually doesn't sound bad.
Kitchen's dream would be to be a dadfluencer, like a guy who posts like how much he loves being a girl dad on Instagram. That's like, if Kitchen could choose an ideal profession, that would be it for sure.
Here's the thing, and you guys know the work ethic that I have. Here's the thing though. Being an influencer is tough work. It is it's a nonstop grind. I like to have a couple viral videos that are just evergreen viral videos that just make money at midnight. That's what I would like.
This is one thing maybe what I was thinking about with influencers last night is you could tell aspiring influencers had to fire off a tweet about John Madden, even if you have nothing remotely interesting to add to the conversation or the eulogy, just like I saw somebody say, "Rest in peace, gonna definitely play a game of Madden tonight in his honor." I was like, did we need to tweet that?
Needed to be said.
Influencers got to influence, man.
I mean, I get it. He was an awesome commentator. Like that was like my generation, like growing up, it was like Harry Carey and John Madden, and they were cool. People give him, though, and I don't want to speak ill of the deceased, but people give him way too much credit for Madden. I mean, obviously, like he put his face on there, but then Madden kind of took off, not because it was John Madden's video game. It was just
but it never would have happened, and it never would have been 11-on-11 had he not demanded it. It was originally going to be a 7-on-7 game and was much different than the game that eventually ended up happening. And he demanded that it be 11-on-11. And
because of that, now we have a lot more concussions in the league. So,
yep.
Wow. I didn't know that that's where this take was going to end up.
Oh, buddy.
Did you not see this?
A big take.
Oh, yeah. No, is that what you're referencing? The person who got ratioed to death on there?
Oh, man.
Imagine that being the thing you wanted. I wish I could get that type of interaction.
Next step, just get out of pocket, man.
Kitchen. Tweet that out. Tweet out. Madden actually gets too much credit for the video game.
There you go.
Probably because I also had Montana's NFL game. I don't know if y'all play Joe Montana football on the Sega Genesis. It's probably
no. We're all younger than 53. So.
It's a good game, though.
Well, actually, Pete's your age, so
Pete just acts like he's my age. All right,
Kitchen's like 8 years older than me.
No, buddy, I don't think that's true.
You guys, I have a hard out, and we haven't talked about tight ends yet.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about tight ends. All right,
we gave you some Zach Ertz talk.
We got Ertz. All right, any Pitts, Kelsey, Waller, Gronk takes?
They seem
like good plays.
Good.
Is Gronk did he burn enough people last week?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is Gronk is actually probably the huge buy spot here.
Kitchen, how are you not gonna tout Johnny Smith, Stone Men versus the Jags here?
When's the last time he got a touch?
They're really trying to get him the ball.
Is there anything else there?
No, he was making fun of Dave.
I was laughing at the sneeze as well. So yeah, Jonnu, it's not January season yet, but when something happens to their number one tight end and they want to actually utilize the guy, they're paying
how much did they pay him?
I mean, they paid him
probably too much.
Pretty decent.
Rudman had like 113 tweet thread about how the Patriots had the best free agent class of all time, and it turns out maybe it was not so much the case.
I don't know. They haven't been bad.
I mean, that boat racing by the Colts just shows why they're not a serious football team. Like, if they're behind 7 points, they just like literally cannot win a game.
Okay. Tight ends that you like, Tuttle.
Oh, I'm just watching this Virginia Tech Maryland game.
So you got any more updates for us?
Thanks a lot.
I mean, it is an interesting week for tight end just with the uncertainty. Obviously, we have Kelsey coming back, Kittle with Lance, Gronk burned people last week. And then the area where you normally don't want to live, in the more mid-tier with like Goddard, Schultz, Knox, Ertz, that's just normally a little bit dicier. I do think Hunter Henry at 4,200 against the Jags looks pretty interesting to me, but I'm not seeing a lot of like good value.
You know who I've been wondering about? I was scrolling the pricing the other day. Tommy Tremble, SocrDave. What happened to this guy?
Yeah, what happened to manufactured touches for Tommy Tremble?
Well, it's called when there's unrest in the quarterback room, it leads to, unfortunately, your top playmakers, DJ Moore, Christian
I've got our vomit. I can't even listen to you talk about Tommy Tremble, Dave. I'm sorry, but I do have our.
Is it Cole Kmet?
No, it's Tyler Kroft. He played 86% of the snaps last week with Ryan Griffin out. He got targeted 5 times. They're really not going to be able to run the ball against Tampa, I don't think. that's the best I can do for you guys.
Cole Kmet would be my guy. He actually, if you take the number of targets this year without a touchdown, he is second with 83.
Oh, you've been reading my tweets, bud?
Yeah, he saw that tweet.
Who's first, Davis?
Tavon Austin?
Basically the same person, Laviska Shenault.
Peter, do not let him get away with this.
I can't. I've taken such a beating for Laviska Shenault.
Yeah.
All right. Tuttle, you want to give a terrible take before we get out of here?
It's gonna be Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble.
That's your terrible take?
This week. Yeah.
That is the lowest effort terrible take in the history of the show.
Nah, I've had some pretty low effort takes.
It's been a pretty low effort show all out for all
Sam
of us.
Darnold comes back, rejuvenates DJ Moore and Tommy Tremble, and one of the two is in the Millie Maker lineup, winning Millie Maker lineup.
All right. Davis, final thoughts on this Omicron episode of the Swolecast?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thought would be, I'm trying to think of like a cool game to stack. I mean, I guess whichever game ends up the least owned out of Arizona, Dallas, LA, Baltimore, and Kansas City, Cincinnati, probably go the heaviest on that game, because I don't really see any difference between the three of them in terms of like shootout potential, wide receivers who can get 30 plus, et cetera, et cetera.
Peter?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say this is the last tournament slate of the year. Next week is cash game week, so feel free to overextend your bankroll. Fire at these tournaments. There is the $2,000 Millie Maker on DraftKings. I say go hard at it.
There you go. All right. Well, appreciate all the positive words, encouragement, me not being here, all the tweets I got. It just means a lot. Special thanks to Adam Silva for filling in last week. Appreciate him. And we'll see you guys next week. Best of luck in your lineups this week, and peace. Later.